Hello, everybody. It is Haitian CEO Herman Dolce. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Execute podcast. And I am blessed and I am honored and I'm low-key kind of lucky to have Stormi Banks on the episode. I don't know how Damaris pulled it off, but she pulled it off. Thank you for making time for me today.
Absolutely. Anything for y'all.
Excellent, excellent. Listen, let's build for a little bit because I was just talking to Boo off stage real quick, and he told me y'all just drove hours from Memphis because you guys are building, you guys are like investing out there. Let's talk about that before we get into grants and what you do.
Absolutely.
Because I love when entrepreneurs they branch out and they do other things. So tell me what you're invested in right now and why you're doing it this way.
Yeah, so we're doing the tax lien auctions. So we invest in Memphis, Tennessee, where we get tax lien properties. Basically, a homeowner didn't pay their property tax, and so the city puts a lien on it. We go buy the lien, and if the homeowner doesn't pay us back within a period of time, we own the property outright. And Tennessee is a free and clear state, so we get the property like one and done once we buy the tax lien. So sometimes it's like as low as $800 going up, from there, depending on how long the taxes has been acquiring.
How long you been doing this?
I started this. Well, it had to be 2020.
Okay.
Had to be
right
2020.
During the pandemic. You went shopping.
Yep. It had to be 2020 when I took a class. And then I don't think I invested until March 2021.
Really?
For real.
What made you pivot? What made you be like, I need to pay attention to this?
Honestly, I went to that class, it was like a free class. And I went and I was just intrigued by it. And it was a really low way to get into real estate. And I was like, no credit, no, all you got to have is a couple dollars. And if I can get a credit card, I can do it. Or if I can get, some cash, I can do it. And it was just like an easy in for me. And then they had at first I was just wholesaling, now I'm flipping and holding. But at first I was just wholesaling the properties where I was like, okay, I was doing it in Philadelphia, actually. In Philly, because Rosewood Investments, Jamisa, she's the one that taught me how to do it. So she was like, Philly is free and clear state too, and all you got to do is basically put down 10% and then wholesale it off before you got to pay the other 90. So I was like, hey, I can get that 10%.
Wow. So that's what you start, and you just continue to grow.
And then build the capital, yeah.
Personal question, how many properties you guys are trying to acquire per year? You have a number?
Yeah, right now I'm trying to acquire 10. That's my goal. So last year I did 4 different properties. So this year I'm like, thank you. I'm like, I need to have 10 that I'm holding. One that I did last year, I did it with a group. It was a group economic deal. And that was like just so rewarding for me to see other people win off of a deal and learn. So like now I'm like, if I can do 2 groups a year and 8 personals, then that's solid for me.
Let's talk about that for a second. Okay. Because God's internet is spicy, right?
Oh, Lord.
So let's talk about the group economics component of it, because my attorney, shout out to Lala, she's like, Herm, you got a great following. You should do a group economics. And she's like, yo, you could buy a space like this commercial. You can raise 10 million. I'll set up the paperwork and do it for you. And I was like, no, I don't like what's going on the internet. I don't want to be that guy that's asking for money. Shout out to my other mentor, Derek Whitehead. He was like, he's a professional beggar. He sets up his paperwork, SEC filings, all that stuff. And he's like, I'm a professional beggar. I go to banks. I do group economics. I raise $5-10 million and we go do a bag. Why are you not afraid to do that? With all the stuff that's going on right now? Cause it's scammy, but why do you feel that, hey, Herman, I'm going to still do it?
I have parameters about who I'm going to work with, because for me, I definitely want to have a life of peace. I don't want someone who's not prepared to go through an investment process in there, because I do it with people, everyday people. I'm not scared because I know myself, right? And I think when you're doing group economics, the best thing you can do is be transparent. Let people know. Walk them through the process. Let's meet every month. Hey, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. This is the paperwork. If you have any questions, I'm giving you all of the material to understand for yourself. So like one of my big morale is education.
Right.
I'm going to educate you. Not that I'm doing a master class, right?
Right.
This ain't that.
It's definitely an investment.
But you're going to know what you're getting into. You're going to make the decision based on your own educated choices. That way, if it gets sticky anywhere in the process, I could rely on the fact that you knew. You knew.
Okay.
And that's all I can do that makes me feel comfortable, is being completely transparent. That's why I'm not afraid of doing it,
Gotcha. How many times have you done it?
We only did one last time. Yeah, we did one last year. So that was our first one, and it went amazing, incredible. We had beautiful partnerships that were like super understanding of the process. They like were excited, and I'm gonna get with them girls again, and we're gonna keep it moving. But,
it's a girl thing.
You know how
that's
Pink
shady.
Print. You know
that's shady. That's whack.
You know Pink Print is all about the female empowerment vibes.
Was it your mentees or was it just So you going right to your mentees?
Yep, mentees.
Because they know, like, and trust you. They know the vibes already.
We already know each other. It's not the extra build trust vibes. It's like we've been with you for a year. We've been rocking with you. We get it. Okay. And so that was super comfortable. And I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm not doing like everybody. You're not going outside to do it. You're just gonna your tribe, who I've taught for the past year or two. Got you. Those people. So you kind of have like your own vetting process. You can't invest in me or this project unless you've been with us for a year. Correct. So you understand the boundaries. Absolutely. Now, in the investment space, everything doesn't always go well, right? I'm gonna ask a tough question. Yeah. And it's gone well this time. What do you have to protect yourself when sometimes it might not go well? The market might shift. It might change. What have you and your attorneys talked about to help protect you and your investors? Yeah, honestly, the last one did go really well. I mean, we did 9% return, which is still really good in real estate. 100%. But as far as what we're doing to protect ourselves is making sure that we do have liquid capital. Like, we have to have liquidation in some of our assets so that we can make sure, for me, if I take a loss and investors invest it, I still want to pay them out. Like, I still want to give them at least their initial return, even if we don't make any kind of, investment on it. I still want to give people their initial return. So that's our goal, is to always have liquidation and making sure that we have that to pay our investors back. That's a good exit strategy, where at least you can get your money back with the liquidation. There's not going to be any profits, but at least there's tuition and we learn something new. Yeah. And I always tell people that. So this is a strict investment thing. There's no they're learning with you type of situation, or you just get the capital. I'll see you in 90, 120 days. We meet every month, but it's the way it goes is definitely not like I'm getting on a call and I'm educating you on the full process. It's more so of, here's the documentation, here's the paperwork to do your own due diligence, here's the property, here's what's going on. Like, let's talk through the deal in itself. But no, I'm not, hey, y'all, this is what you got to do to find a contractor. Hey, y'all, this is what you got to do to get a lawyer. Right, hey, y'all, these how the contracts got to be. That's another mastermind. That's another class. That's a whole nother. Yeah. And that's not my lane, right? Like, that's not my lane. A lot of what I'm still 4 properties in. So I'm still going through a lot of learning curves myself. The only reason why I felt comfortable to bring other people in was because I had done a couple. I had some, a lawyer behind me to make sure everything was protected. Yep. And then I had people who trusted me to be honest with them throughout the process. So a lot of times for me, I do stuff that I may not have all of the information or all of the education to do. Yeah. But if I'm so transparent and honest with you about that, and you still make the decision that, hey, this is a good opportunity, I trust that you're going to go through this with us and make sure we're good. Yeah. Then we're going to rock with it. Then you're straight. Yeah. I love to hear it. Stormi Banks, let's get into it. Okay. The Pink Print. Yeah. Right? You have a movement. You have an amazing company. You're helping hundreds of thousands of people get grants. Tell the people a little bit about yourself. Where are you from and how'd you get into this? Yeah, honestly, so I'm Stormi Banks. Good to meet you guys. And I got started with this in March 2021 is when I actually launched my company. Okay. And the craziest thing is I launched my company after getting robbed by my best friend of like $50,000 that I had saved up. I used to do hair. I beg your pardon. Yes, it was such a crazy time. And honestly, I don't even remember all the details because it's like I'm just so much up you blocked that. It out. Yes, yeah. I'm like so much up from that. Ooh, I love that. I'm up from that. Yeah. The craziest thing is after I had got robbed by my friend, of the monies that I had saved, that money was the seed money I was going to use to move to Atlanta. At the time, I was living in Tennessee at that time during COVID because New York was completely shut down. Right. And so I had moved to Tennessee where my mom is at. And after that, I went to Tennessee, saved up the money, and she robbed me of it after I had told her all my plans and goals of like, I'm about to take this $50K, I'm about to go to Atlanta, get me a salon. I had just signed a lease on an apartment. Like, I was so excited. When I came back from that trip from Atlanta, money was gone. So after that, I went through a 6-month stint of like depression, anxiety, all of the things. And I just decided I don't want anyone else to feel that way. I don't ever want anyone else to feel like they can't go for their dreams because of a lack of money, or they have to put their dreams on pause because of a lack of capital. And so I was like, I'm on this mission to like help 100 women get some money so that they could start their business. And that's when Pink Print was birthed in 2021. And it's just been up from there.
So you are the quintessential, took a bad thing and didn't let it bury you, but you actually grew it into something that's absolutely amazing. Everybody is very familiar with the movement, and it's absolutely amazing. But you have to tell me, why did you decide to only work with women? Especially after the seed that was planted was one of your own that took from you.
Yeah.
Why'd you decide to do it this way?
Honestly, the thing happened because I did research, right? I did a lot of research in the industry before I got started in the financial sector. And women are the least represented, most, underfunded. So for me, it was serving two purposes: my own, purpose, and then also a purpose that was needed in the actual marketplace at the time. And still.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, I'm going to focus on women to make sure that we close that gap of how much we get funded, because we start the most businesses, according to the data, we start the most businesses, but we get the less funding. And I just wanted to really put a dent in what we can, and what we can accomplish,
especially Black women.
Oh, especially.
Yeah, especially Black women. They're definitely on the bottom of the totem pole with getting funding. Now you're specializing in grants. That's your lane, right? So I do the business fund. Did you ever start a business funding?
Yeah, I was doing business credit first. Yeah.
So what made you pivot to grants and specialize in it?
I'm not gonna lie to you, people was going broke. No, I'm not even gonna sit here and hold you, Herman.
That's what it was?
Yes. I would hear, like, it would be so much success. We would be getting so much funding. 6 months later, people will come back and say, Stormi, I used that money in my business. Like, I thought I used it properly, but the marketing didn't work out, or this didn't work out, or the investment didn't work out, and I'm broke, and now my 9-to-5 money, I'm paying it back to keep up with this loan opportunity. How do I get to a place where I don't have to pay this back?
Right.
And I'm like, no, you in debt. Like, that's what it's gonna be. But it was so many stories that I was like, I got to take a step back on, am I really helping people, or am I getting them in a position that they don't know how to handle? Because if you get funded and you're a first-time business owner, you get funded $50,000, how often do you really know how to allocate $50,000 into your business? Typically, this is the first time people are getting funded.
This type of money.
So they don't understand how to properly use the money that they're getting.
Right.
So I wanted to make a positive impact, not just any impact. And so that's why I pivoted to grants, because it's debt-free funding that you don't have to worry about paying it back in order to still level up your business and invest into your dreams and goals.
That is absolutely wild. I was on MG, the Mortgage Guy podcast, literally yesterday, and we talked about this because I was on his show the year before. He's like, what has changed? And I was like, I've actually pivoted my business to more of a mentorship, because same thing, Stormi. People got this bread and blew the bag. They printed $6 trillion, PPP, EIDL. They were printing all this business credit. We was up. And I can't tell you how many Rolexes I bought on sale because everybody blew the bag. Right? And it's so I pivoted to, all right, I got to teach y'all marketing, social media, budgeting. I got to get y'all in touch with lawyers so that when you're doing your startup business, you got to put yourself in position. Storm Leroy, great mentor of mine, he says, your job is your first business partner. I put on top of that, your banks are your second business partner. Take your job's money, invest it in your business first, right? And then if that works, this works. I put this 1,000, 2,000, it worked. Now you go to the bank. Can I get 10, 20? Because if I put gasoline on this, I know it'll work. Then you're up from there. And we show them that type of structure. And then I think mentorship is really what helped people put them in the position for the win. And we have many mentors that come on, but you went into the grant space because this is basically free money.
I never call it that. It's debt-free money, but it's not tax-free money, right?
Oh, wait. Let's say that again. Herman, let me correct you. It's not free money. It's what?
It's debt-free funding, but it's not tax-free.
It's not what does that mean?
Correct.
You got to break that down.
Yeah, so you're not in debt to the grantor. You don't have to pay them back any kind of money or interest, but to the IRS, it is actually noted as gross income.
To the nonprofit or to the business?
Both, for-profit or nonprofit. It is gross income that you actually make. It's money made in your business. So you put it on a certain line on your, it's not gross. It's on a certain line on your taxes, but it's income.
And you have to pay taxes on it.
Correct. Correct. You have to pay taxes on it.
News to me.
Yeah, so there's a lot of strategies when it comes to grants. And this is why I tell people a lot of times, grants is a revenue strategy, because I'm not against going for the loans and getting the credit. Once you can get grants, understand how money works, understand the tool of money, you now have gross revenue that you can take to the bank in a tax return to get additional funding on your grants. And the thing is, Herman, people already have the skills to go for grants. They're filling out Section 8 applications.
Yeah.
They're filling out food applications for, what is it? What is it called when they get the food vouchers? You don't know?
Mm-mm.
Too removed. We too removed.
I'm embarrassed. Because I should know better, right? Because Mama definitely was in line.
Yeah, what was the line called?
I forgot. Dang. I forgot. And listen,
yeah, me too.
You know the government cheese, the block cheese that people used to
government cheese,
right? Yeah. You know, when I was growing up, it was just regular cheese to me. I didn't know till I was older that it was government cheese. I was like, oh, that's a problem. That's not where everybody get their cheese from.
I'm crying. I can't even remember what the stuff is called. I know Section 8 is for the house, but they fill out an application for Section 8. They fill out applications for jobs, but nobody fills out the applications for grants. And I'm like, y'all, those are things you do to get help when you're on your low, right? Mm-hmm. But these are things that you get help to actually get high. So why are we putting more effort and attention into doing the things that keep us in the same position versus the things that actually will raise us up? So when it comes to a grant application, if you get grant monies and you use that on your tax returns as gross revenue, you'll be able to get additional sources of funding when you continue on your journey with your business.
I need you to understand, my mind is blown.
Is it?
Yeah. Right, yeah. So grants are a revenue for the business that you can actually use to go to banks and get real business funding on the opposite side.
Correct.
And it's taxable income. Correct. For the business. My mind is blown.
Correct. And there's ways to alleviate the tax burdens.
Taxes is ghetto. Yes, absolutely.
We do what we do to not pay those taxes.
Legally.
Correct.
Right.
Always legally.
Always legally.
We always make sure we have our capital gains losses and our, all of those things. But yeah, it's a revenue strategy. And that's what I really try to tell people is, I don't chase clients. I don't run around chasing clients to make $1 in my business, because all of our monthly operational expenses are handled by grants. Payroll, at marketing budgets, any kind of events that we want to do.
All grant money.
That's grant funding.
Listen, Stormi, let's offline real quick. Let's turn off the cameras. The Blueprint Summit 2025.
We talked about that.
I need to go big. I need 6 figures in grants. I need to make this happen.
You got to tell me a date and you got to tell me the outcome.
Time out. We're going to get back to the show. But listen, we have to talk about Bella Sloan Academy, the dopest mentorship on the internet. Listen, in this mentorship, we're going to teach you game. We want to put you in position for the win. And we have created a dope community of like-minded people and entrepreneurs just like you. We have 5 live Zoom calls per month, not just your regular videos that you can watch later. No, we want to touch you and we want to talk to you. In these 5 Zoom calls, you have your accountability call. You have your credit repair call. You have your business funding call. Listen, I don't know everything, so I get masterminds to come and teach you guys about credit, real estate, and other businesses that include trust, life insurance to put you in position for the win. This is only $50 per month. That's right. This investment is super, super low. Put yourself in position. Back to the show.
Once you can really tell me the outcome, I can create that narrative and
and we go run up a bag.
I can really put in some applications.
You're going to charge me a fee? That's what you're going to do?
No. We're going to work. We're going to do some other stuff.
We got build
stuff in mind.
That is crazy. I know I'm not a woman. Damaris is CEO of the company. Maybe I could, you can work with her?
That way.
Okay, we're going to rock that way. We're going to rock way. That is absolutely amazing. So are you teaching people this grant strategy or you're just taking people on as clients and you do it for them?
Yeah, so we have both, right? Mm-hmm. We have a full service grant writing agency. Pinkprint does everything from the grant proposal to the applications. Only thing we don't handle right now is grant management after award. Mm-hmm. But we also do tons. I'm telling you, I have content on how to really work this strategy and how to continuously apply for grants from the beginning of the process to the end of the process. So we're doing a bit of both for the, different audiences that may come.
Right. You said something interesting. We do not do grant management afterwards. So after they get the bread, you're out. You did your job.
Correct.
Is that another revenue stream you don't want to touch, or?
No, it is one that we want to touch, but glory be to God, we had a Black Friday that honestly kicked our butts. It was so good that it showed us a lot of cracks that were in our company. And I'm so grateful because we took Q1 really updating all of our processes and all of our procedures. And so now we're getting to the point where everything is so seamless and automated that we can start looking at additional ways to create revenue from what we were previously already doing. So we'll be launching that probably Q4 of this year, but we're not ready yet. And I want to make sure that if we tell you, hey, we're going to help you manage this process, that it's managed. You know what I mean? Right. So yeah, we're looking into it. It's just not, we're just not at capacity yet.
So I want to talk about a couple of myths or two. One of the myths is, say for instance, I get $100,000 in grant money. How much can be allocated to salaries of people for the for-profit, the managers, or a nonprofit, the board that's running a nonprofit? What is that percentage?
It changes per grant.
Okay.
But typically it's 10 to 30%.
Okay.
10 to 30% for consulting fees or personnel fees and things of that nature. But it ranges for each grant. There's some grants that will, allow you 50% on personnel.
Wow.
But what they want to get away from is a lot of grant writers try to charge a fee for their works, right? So they'll say, okay, I'm not going to charge you anything up front, but what you're going to do is pay me 10% on the back end when you get your grant funding. That's actually against federal regulations. You are not supposed to pay a grant writer a fee because they're not a part of your actual personnel to get the job done for the mission that you did the grant for.
Wait a minute.
And so that's the thing that they try to limit personnel because they don't want grant writers coming through getting 10,000 off of a 100K grant. That 10,000, that's a hefty fee. That's hefty.
Okay, so I feel like right now in the comments when this goes live on YouTube, it's about to go crazy. That's against federal regulations to charge a funding fee on the grant side.
And I can prove it. I got receipts. So anyone who want to argue, DM me.
Okay, this is awkward. Okay. No, I did not know. I thought that was the vibes. So how are you guys supposed to get, how does your agency get paid?
You're supposed to charge an upfront fee for the time that it takes you to write and research, period. If you work based on, let's say it takes me 60 hours to write and research a grant for you. I got to charge you $15 an hour, $40 an hour, $60 an hour based on experience, based on what I've won. I have to charge you by the hour for my time and the research that it took me to actually write and apply to the opportunity, period.
What about charging a flat fee? Hey, I charge $2,000-$3,000.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's fine too.
That's what we do. We're like, $900, we'll write the proposal for you and apply to 3 grants, period.
So Stormi, you telling me I'm trying to get the convention center in Philly next year. I need $300,000, $400,000. You come up, be like, hey, Herm, I got you $250,000. Here you go. You're telling me the flat fee was a flat fee?
Flat fee is flat fee. It's about ethicalness, right? It's about being ethical because what I could do is get you in trouble. If let's say that your grant manager comes back and is like, okay, let's see the profit and loss sheets, let's see the account statements, and there's a wire to me. Okay, can we explain where this went? What did this help us do? Oh, this was my grant writer. They can retract funding from you.
Ouch.
Right. So I want you to maintain efficacy so that you can create the partnership with them. Because if you do the Blueprint Summit every single year, now you already have a funding source that knows, hey, he does great business. He gets great, impact reports, and we're able to continue working with him. But if you done sat here and paid a grant writer 20%, we're not going to use you again. Yeah, I'm trying to set you up for the future, not myself. I win grants too. I don't need to eat off of you.
Got you. All right, let's dig a little bit deeper in this grant situation. What's the first step if somebody wants to get a grant? If you're, high level, I know you teach a little bit. Just give us a little sauce, right? I know they got to join a mentorship, but give us a little something about how to start, what are the pitfalls, etc.
Yeah, for me, you'll get more when you're a actual LLC business or a nonprofit. So if you're an individual, you're going to get really, really low grants, like, 500, 1,000, maybe 2,500. But I definitely tell people the first step, you got to go ahead and register that business, register that nonprofit, get all of your forms together and make sure that you're, situated. And then once you go there, the main thing is getting that grant proposal, having a really good narrative to the business, because the main thing with grants is having a compelling narrative that has clear and measurable results, that's concise, not rambling, not, all of these different words. It's just like a real strategy that you use when you're actually going for grants. And then from there, honestly, once you have your proposal and your business is properly formatted, all you have to do is continuously apply using like grantwatch.com, Hello Skip, going through these different grant databases and finding grants that are aligning with your business and your goals. And it's just a process.
It's just a process.
Yeah, of continuing.
How long does it take to usually grant from beginning to end?
It depends on the source. So there's like corporate grants, local state, and then there's federal, right? Corporate is probably the ones that you, like the Hello Alice, that a lot of people are familiar with, or like FedEx gives out a grant, and those are quick. Those are like, okay, the application period is 30 days. They typically give you the money 2-4 weeks after the application period is over. So you'll be funded from start to finish in like 60 days tops. Now, state, local, it's a little bit more paperwork. Sometimes you got to send in what's called a letter of intent. So that process can end up being like 90 to 6 months, right? 90 days to 6 months. Federal, 90 days to like sending all the paperwork to like 18 months. It just depends on the funder and depends on the amount of the grant most times.
Okay. So when people come to you, do they tell you how much they want? Or do you say, here are the ones based on what you do, these are the ones we're going to go for and we'll see what happens?
Yeah, so we want you to tell us what you want. How much do you need? How much are you actually needing? Let's go through this budget. Let's figure out, does the things that you want to allocate the budget to make sense for what funders are looking for currently right now on the market? Based on that information, that actually helps us figure out which grants to go for, because, there's different criteria. We can figure out which grants to go for. And then how that works after that is we'll let you know, hey, we may not be able to find one grant that gets you $300K, for one project, but we might be able to get you 50% of your goal with applying to 3 of different grants, right? So you'll get $150K from 3 different grants that we applied to rather than one grant with 300. But that's our goal, is always to make sure we get our clients 50% of their budget allocated through the grants that we apply for if we can't get them 100%.
What are some of the pitfalls in grant writing that you've seen?
Honestly, preparation from the client. Those are always going to be the things.
Because people don't listen.
You got to have documentation. You got to follow the rules. Stuff is procedure. So one of the things that I love so much about law, like my lawyer always says this, is people could advocate for themselves all the time. But what people don't know how to do when it comes to being a lawyer is the procedures of the court of law. So the same with grants. People go on YouTube and find out information and they figure out, I could write my grant proposal. There's procedures to grants. You have to follow the procedure. And if you don't follow procedure, that's the easiest way for you to get eliminated out of the process. So that's what we've understood and learned to become professionals at, is policy and procedure when it comes to grant writing.
Got you.
Yeah.
What are the absolute don'ts? Do not do this. This will send you to jail. We already know you can't charge a 10% funding fee. Don't do this. You would get banned. What your top 3 of what people should not be doing when they're getting into this grant space?
Number 1 is don't pay for applications.
What? You're just messing me up. Like, all these
so genuine.
No, seriously, all these rules. I'm like, wait a minute. There's no application fees for grants?
No.
It's free?
Yes.
All right, man. They're gonna DM you. You. That's wild. Okay.
There's no way. How you gonna tell me you got $50,000 for me, but I gotta give you $10 or $100? That means you're trying to raise the $50,000 off of the people that's applying. There's no way I'm applying to that. Never. Don't pay.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So if like 100 people pay a $20 application fee, that's actually the grant money they're gonna choose and give to one person.
Come on, be for real.
Let me start scanning. That is crazy. What?
For real. There's no way.
Wow, that's the game.
That's the game. There's no way.
So if they're doing an app fee, that's your money. They're about to donate to somebody and have a check on a stage. Don't do it.
Come on.
That's wild.
That's wild.
That's wild.
You gotta be on that stage with them at that point.
What else you got, Storm? What else?
So
it's a red flag.
That's a super red flag.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that people should absolutely not do is you got to proofread those applications. Like if you go in and you have misspelled words and bad grammar,
Mm-hmm.
what happens on the back end, because I sit on a lot of boards and I have my own foundation that gives grants.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing they do is try to eliminate as many people as possible so that they only have to actually go through a certain amount of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
If 500 people apply, we're like, okay, let's see who's getting out of here first. Who didn't follow the rules? Who got misspelled words? Who's is crazy? Who, whatever the case may be. Okay, cool. Out of those 500, we got 50, right? So the best way for you to get into the pile of 50 is to follow the rules and not have like misspelled grammar. That's the absolute.
Something so basic. Because if there's misspelled stuff, they're like, get them out of here.
Easy.
Because they trying to cut that list down.
Ain't nobody, they're paying they're either having volunteers come in or they're paying people to actually go through those applications. So there's no way that they want to sit there and pay $15 an hour to go through 1,000 applications. They're trying to get it down to as low as possible.
Before you get to your last red flag, ChatGPT, is that a vibe?
Red flag.
Dang,
that's the third one.
That's the third one?
Yeah.
I can't use a little chat.
That's the third.
Can you write me up a grant and I don't do that?
Chat not going to be chatting for you. Because what's going to happen is grant organizations are using what's called ZeroGPT now. And ZeroGPT is what detects AI language when it comes to grant proposals. It's gone so far that now they're having actual checkboxes. You know, like when they say, I agree to the terms and conditions, checkboxes that say this is my original work and it was not used by any artificial intelligence. So now you're going to be automatically discarded if you're using ChatGPT. I know a lot of people want to go viral on Instagram. So they say, here's my easy prompts to do ChatGPT to write your grant proposal. Okay, go do that and let me know when you win.
Holy, wow.
You're not going to, I'm telling you, it's grants are a competition-based program. You're not really competing if it's not your work, if it's not your mind, if it's not your ideas, if it's not your, you know what I'm saying? Your thoughts on the piece of paper. It's chat's competition.
Can I write up my grant, put it in ChatGPT to proofread?
Yeah, you can proofread.
Okay.
You can proofread. Right. You can use like Grammarly, Wordly, all those different things. You can get a grammar. Yeah.
ChatGPT, that's wild.
But when you're going in and like people will literally copy and paste the question from the grant and then put it in the chat and then be like, create me an answer for this based on my business, and it gives you an answer and you copy and paste it back, out of here. Even if I'm telling you, ZeroGPT can detect even if it's 2% AI. We use it because we have our grant writers that we put their grant proposals through ZeroGPT to make sure that we have a quality assurance and it's human written grant. Like that's one of the big things that we stand on is human written grants.
What is ZeroGPT? What is that?
It's
like just another AI that detects AI?
It's like a website. ZeroGPT is like I guess it is. Is it an AI that uses AI?
It's an AI that uses AI. Man, that's absolutely wild. Listen, so I see you looking over at Boo real quick. Let's get a little personal.
Okay.
You're building something amazing. Before we start, I was like, where y'all come from? He's like, yo, man, we was doing business. What is it like having a partner on the same page that's in the trenches with you? What is that like?
Honestly, it can go both ways sometimes, because sometimes when you're by yourself, it's easy to move at your own speed of light and to just execute on your own ideas. And when you have a partner, sometimes you have to collaborate, right? There's that collaboration. But what you have to decide, which is really what makes you decide, whether you want a partner or not, is, are you here to live in community and grow together, or are you here to self-serve? So for me, being with a partner really has allowed me to enhance my desire for community and enhance my desire for like growth as a unit. It slowed me down a lot in terms of moving too fast on things that I wasn't quite thinking all the way through. Now I have an additional brain who can think of, hey, this might be this route that this goes. This might be this route that this goes. And so I can consider different avenues and ideas. And I think that's the whole point of being in community in the first place, is having different people with different skill sets and different, opportunities, bring them to the table to better the unit together. So having a partner has bettered me in so many ways. Absolutely. And there's sacrifices that comes with that too. But you have to decide, is it worth it? And for me, it definitely has been.
I feel like you've done media training. That was an amazing answer.
For real?
No, that was dope as hell. Let's clip that up for the reel. All right. That was actually really amazing. I like to wrap up my podcast with the same question, right?
Okay.
You've built something amazing in the last 5 years. You're clearly a power couple. You're engaged. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is next? We rerun. We redo a podcast. We do a reunion special. Where do we see Stormi Banks in 10 years, 5, 10 years? What are you doing?
I'm gonna be on my farm growing chickens and getting eggs, and I'll probably have 2 kids, and by 10 years I'll probably be at 2 kids.
2 kids,
and cut off. That's it.
Right.
And I will just really be doing like occasional speaking engagements for like when Forbes calls me out, like when
Beg your pardon.
Right. When the state calls
when
me
Oprah
out.
calls, right.
But it's $40,000 for the fuel of my jet, so you got to get me out there. And it's $100K for me, so you got to get me on a jet.
Got you, because you're not moving for less than 150. I got
that's
you.
That's the out the bed fee. That's just the out the bed fee.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really just gonna be chilling in 10 years. I mean, the way that I see getting there is really expanding globally and making sure that we're being more inclusive and diverse with our marketing efforts, and making sure that other people can get access to the opportunities that we see in our grant company with getting the services that we provide. So we're really focused right now on like global expedition, like big time.
You have an amazing 10-year goal. What are the hindrances you foresee that can slow you down?
Team.
Okay.
Yeah.
Team. Yeah. Facts.
Growing that big is something that you have to make sure you have the right people on board who have the vision and the bandwidth and the capacity to do those things. And I feel like if you don't understand how to be a leader, and all of that comes with that, the stress, the ideas, the creativity, the learning, the education. If you don't know how to hire the right people that are going to be able to help you get there, I think you're going to always have a struggle with really growing like big. You may go long, but you won't go far.
I love it. Stormi, thank you so much for taking. I know you're super busy. You just did a 6-hour drive from Memphis to come to Atlanta and do this podcast. I truly appreciate you. Stormi, where are they going to find you? I need name, number, email. I need Instagrams. I need Twitter. The people are going to be in your DMs, especially about this 10% funding situation.
Absolutely.
Go ahead. Talk to the people.
Yeah, you guys can reach me on Instagram at Stormi Banks _, and that's Stormi with an I, and that's across actually all platforms, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And then you guys also can connect with me and my company at pinkprintfirm.com. That's our website. And then, of course, we have customer service, which is 1-800-295-0181. I look forward to hearing from you guys.
Absolutely. Not guys, just the ladies, unfortunately.
Shade, all ladies.
Shade. All shades. Stormi Banks, thank you so much. And thank you for tuning in for another Execute podcast. This is Haitian CEO. I'll talk to you soon.